right now, which is a perfect reason to talk about sunscreen, because this is the kind of day when you might not think you need it, but you really do. To talk more about that is a board-certified dermatologist, Dr. Howard Brooks, with Aesthetic Dermatology in Bowie, Maryland. Dr. Brooks, thank you very much for joining us today. You made the very good point, which is today's a day when a lot of people might be at the beach and not put the sunscreen on, thinking they don't need it because the sun's not out. That would be a mistake.
That would be a mistake. That's the question that most people ask me all the time. And days like today is a perfect day when you need a sunscreen.
Okay, we've brought some examples of sunscreen. We also want to emphasize for children especially. This is the SPS. This is a product from Coppertone Water Babies. Has 45 SPF. Is that what you need for a child?
Really, you need an SPF 15 or above, and that would be adequate as long as you reapply every 22 hours.
Is there a difference between putting on a sunscreen specifically designed for kids or one you might have for an adult?
Not necessarily. The ones designed for kids usually have some type of water protection, which means you can stay in the water anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes.
Right, so the kids are going back and forth.
Right.
You want to keep it on. We're going to get back to more sunscreen in a second. We want to talk about clothing, because another myth is if you put a T-shirt on a child, they're not going to get sunburned underneath that. Not the case.
That's not the case. You really want to wear a tight weave if you are going to wear something like this.
Right.
Regular cotton T-shirts or undershirts really aren't enough protection, but nothing can take the place from sunscreen.
Right. Now, we should point out this is an article clothing that we have gotten from a company that makes clothing designed to be resistant for sun. But you point out that even with a tight weave like this, you still need to apply the sunscreen
Really,
as well.
sunscreen. And with children, you really want to protect them from the peak hours, which are 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Here's another product as well. Now, this is a hat. And it features a neck flap here.
Correct.
Because this is one of the most often neglected areas when you put sunscreen on.
People forget, and that will provide some protection.
Let's look at some of the other products you brought as well, because these are all interesting. Now, this is one that doesn't look like suntan lotion to me. It's Kinerace. Has that SPF 15, which is the minimum you want.
Right.
How is this different from something I'm going to buy at a store that's suntan lotion?
Really just the vehicle in which it's delivered, and a lot of women like this especially because you can apply makeup over top of it. It really feels just like a lotion.
As a dermatologist, where do you see the problems crop up with sunburn, or areas that people usually neglect?
People usually neglect, like you said, the back of their neck, the hands, and most people honestly don't wear sunscreen at all, unfortunately.
You really find that even today with all the warnings?
I do. I find most people don't wear sunscreen. They think that if it's a sunny day or if they're at the beach, that's when they need to do it. But it really needs to be done 365 days a year.
Okay, here's some. So would you recommend sunscreen if you're just someone who works out? We're seeing people unload things behind us. Someone like that has a job like that where they're out all the time. Good idea.
Everybody should just do it, just like they brush their teeth.
Dr. Brooks, final product here. Now, this is another one that doesn't look like sunscreen.
Correct.
It says Dove Face Care, but it has that SPF 15. Can I put this on and be confident that I'm going to be okay?
You can put that on and be confident as long as you apply every 2 hours, or more if you go to the
every 2 hours. So, Dr. Brooks, early and often, as they say. Thank you so much for joining us. Some very, very good advice, especially for children as we get into the sunny season. We'll walk back.